and that's just going to accelerate the process of the paper green dollar that we use being worth you blowing your nose into. That's all it's going to be worth in the world we headed into. So these people, you're gonna have to get in. You have to get in that game. It is what it. I ain't saying you got to sell your soul to it. I ain't saying that you live and die by it. But you don't. But cash is cash is done. Cash is done. If you collapse the world, if you collapse the power of the green piece of paper, which is the U.S. dollar, then these people have no choice but to get into the digital space. If your dollar is literally worth you wiping your ass with it, then it doesn't matter how much you charge. You're gonna have to go into that realm, bro. It don't matter, man, because that's what the U.S. dollar is turning. Because we already know it's just a fiat currency. It has no gold or silver backing. As you mentioned in the 70s, it was actually the year 1972 during the Nixon administration where when they struck that deal with Saudi Arabia for OPEC and them having to use the U.S. dollar to get oil and whatnot, and they will remove the gold standard from it. Basically, the U.S. dollar became the gold standard for the world. Basically, that's what happened at the time, and also that was also in exchange for military prowess and power and protection over in that region. But you do some research on the relation between the Saudis and the United States. A lot of them are upset with the United States based off of their lack of interest in the war with Yemen, and also how they handle the Iran nuclear weaponry deal and whatnot. The Saudis are getting pissed off with America in regards to America holding up their end of the bargain, which is another reason, or I'll say how the narrative is being drawn up, which is another reason why they're potentially, which it's gonna happen, but we gotta say potentially because we don't know when it's gonna happen, but why they're gonna eventually go into the process and exit the dollar being the main trading resource, going into the yuan being the main trading resource. That's another reason why they're going to that as well. I mean, at the end of the day, America is just in such a fucked up position around the world. They've done so many people dirty. They've done so many people wrong. Like they flexed their might for so long that these so-called patriots that you got here, who got this America the Great, America the Beautiful mindset. Yo, America is not what you think it is, man. Yo, America has forsaken business deals, has not held up the end of the bargain. Has waged a lot of silent proxy wars. Well, I wouldn't say proxy, but a lot of silent wars on the people. It's these rural people being included, that have affected you, the mindset of yourself, your kids, certain things of that nature for generations upon generations, where things have weakened over time due to wars America's put on their own nation, man. So these patriots who got this America the Great mindset, it's not what you think it is. So you think that you're going to be able to stave that off for forever, and I'm never going to join that, and I'm never going to join that side, and the third. Well, hey, the dollar's going to get to a point based off of all the bullshit America has done internationally, worldwide. Like I said, the reason I brought up the Saudi Arabia thing was because it's being told right now that America has not kept up their end of the bargain, and the Saudis are pissed off about that, and that's another reason why they're going into the yuan. So there's no way America can make that up, because those events have already happened in terms of the Iranian nuclear deal, the Yemen war, and things like that. Those events, have come and gone and things of that nature. This America can't, turn back time and go change their dealings with that. So that's likely already sailed, and Saudi Arabia is going to go in that direction, and that's just going to accelerate the process of the paper green dollar that we use being worth you blowing your nose into. That's all it's going to be worth in the world we headed into. So these people, you're gonna have to get in. You have to get in that game. It is what it. I ain't saying you got to sell your soul to it. I ain't saying that you live and die by it. But But cash is cash is done. Cash is done.
Especially as time go on, man. Especially in this society that we're in, a lot of you brothers, man, us included, our faith in the Most High is really going to be tested. Do we really believe that we're going to inherit the promises of the scriptures, and do we really believe that through enduring through the end that we're going to make it? because as the times continue on, it's going to be harder for us brothers to understand what time we're in to live. Because as things become more digital, my brother, you can't follow the wave. You're going to have to come against it. You're going to have to be one of them old motherfuckers. Be like, I don't like this digital shit. Why can't I just do shit like I was before? Or basically, you're just going to have to figure out a way to do less. Because as this society progresses and as things begin to change, first, it'll be temporary. Like Swim was mentioning earlier with a lot of those debit cards with the new the chip in them. Not all debit cards had it at first.
The stamp that was on it.
The stamp that was on it. Yeah, not all debit cards had it at first. It was only like, the brand new debit cards, but now over time, every debit card has it, man. Now you can't even swipe anymore. You gotta stick in that stamp, man. It's so inconvenient. And even just but real quick before I continue on, I just want to get a precept just to go on to Swin's point about especially Saudi Arabia, since they're eventually going to turn against America as well. This is Ezekiel, the 16th chapter. I'll start at verse 35. And of course, this is talking about the harlot, or aka the whore of Babylon, that being the United States of America. But let me continue on. Ezekiel 16 and 35. Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredom with thy lovers, and with all the idols of thy abomination, and by the blood of thy children which thou didst give unto them. Behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers, with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that thou hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated. I will even gather them around about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness unto them, that they may see all thy nakedness. And I will judge thee as women that break wedlock and shed blood are judged. And I will give thee blood in fury and jealousy. I'll read verse 39. And I will also give thee into thy hand, and they shall throw down thy eminent place, and shall break down thy high places, and shall strip thee also of thy clothes, and shall take thy fair jewels, and leave thee naked and bare. Meaning what? Eventually, a lot of these countries, and we're already seeing it with Russia and China, Saudi Arabia, like we mentioned, they're going to be tired of America's shit. They're going to be tired of the quote-unquote pristine image that America has globally. Because a lot of these leaders behind the closed doors, they already know what we're about. They understand that we really promote wickedness throughout the earth, that we sow confusion, not even throughout the earth, but even amongst our own people. Quiet as kept, most people around the world think that Americans are brainwashed and stupid. Of course, globally, most people are, just because they embrace what's on the television and don't do actual research. But especially Americans, people are viewed. Since we're like the biggest consumers when it comes to entertainment, we're the most blind and ignorant when it comes to things around us. But there's going to be a time and a day where that facade of America is going to be destroyed. Both in the minds of the people, but also literally, because America is going to be stripped of its prestige when it comes to, being the number one country where everybody wants to go to. It's a place where you can make it rich if you poor from a third world country. It's a place where you can do whatever you want to do. It's a place where you can become successful. Those days are coming to an end, man. Is eventually motherfuckers want to move to China to make money, especially if this deal with Saudi Arabia happens and more people are buying the yuan as opposed to the dollars. Because going back to that topic real quick, if that actually were to happen and oil, Saudi Arabia starts purchasing oil in yuan as opposed to US dollars, that means all countries across the world, even the US, are going to have to get rid of some of their dollar deposits and purchase yuan just to make transactions. And quite as kept, China is already a very powerful economy, and they already quite as kept control a lot of the media throughout the United States. And a lot of these major corporations actually work through China, like Nike. We can even say the NBA, TikTok. TikTok. A lot of these different energy companies in the United States also are through China as well. So China, low-key, already has a stranglehold on America. So if they get this yuan deal, it's not even just going to be subtle anymore. It's going to be like, okay, everybody's going to have to pay OBS to China. And like Swin was saying earlier, it's not really just China. It's China and Russia. quiet as kept, because Russia and China are partners. They're working together in order to basically overpower America, because they understand by themselves they could, put up a fight against America, but it's better to have two than one. So working together, they'll be able to throw in America, and just like I read earlier in Ezekiel, they'll basically strip America bare. And then I don't want to get into the precepts talking about the nuclear fire and destruction, because that's a whole nother topic. Just want to focus on the economics for now. But there is going to be a time where all these countries are going to gang up on America economically, and while the people of America are suffering, everybody else in the globe is going to be prospering. Because quiet is kept, another thing that's going to happen as these days progress, especially like the powers that be, specifically a lot of the banking families, the families in inner London, people like the Bushes and the Clintons, like the real elite of the world who like really control economics. They don't want America to be this successful great nation. They want a one world government. And in order for one world government to exist, there can't be one nation that's preeminent above everybody else. I mean, what's the main thing that gets pushed in America? Equality. Everybody's got to be equal. Well, hey, man, every country got to be equal. And most countries around the world are third world countries. So what's that mean? We got to go down to their level.
Exactly.
And they got to come a little bit up, and we're going to meet them somewhere in the middle. But America's not going to be this great country for long. It might not be as bad as the third world countries, but it won't be as great as it once was. And it already really isn't. I mean, we can already see, I believe, hasn't inflation increased about 7% this year alone?
Yeah, it's increased about 7% this year alone. But then you add on top of that, basically the Fed, once again has
hiking up interest rates too. That's happening as well.
So you got to add that into it as well. That's gonna, you can add another over the course of these, because they said they're going to do it 6 times this year, which of course they're going to do it 6 times, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like I know Dben said that America might not quite turn to a third world country, but I'll be honest with you, based on prophecy of the scriptures, I believe that it is. And the only reason why I say that is because, like you said, it's already not like the way it used to be, and mainly is because of the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing that's really keeping this country together somewhat is the belief and the worship of money. Because pretty much, no matter who you are, no matter what your, personal ideologies are, just about everybody in this country worships money. Just about. So that's the only thing that's really keeping people from going ape shit. So once the money, the USD gets taken out the way, there's going to be a pause period, and that's going to be the first, because obviously it's going to get burned by other countries, but a lot of the destruction is going to be from within, because what's going to happen is once that money gets taken out the way, now that unifying belief or unifying worship, i.e. that fiat money, the fiat USD, whatever, is now taken out the way. Now the only thing that people got is whatever their personal beliefs are. And oh my goodness, I mean, there's a reason why America is known as the whore Babylon, the great whore. Because what does a whore do? Literally, she receives anything and everything, right? Well, yep. That's what America does. Exactly. They receive anyone and everyone, no matter who they are, no matter what they believe in. Everybody has the right to, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Whatever. Everybody has the right to do that, no matter who you are and no matter what you believe in. I mean, I did a breakdown a long time ago using, not a long time ago, but I'll say about a year and a half ago, using, if y'all know that game, the video game back in the game, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, I used that intro to describe basically the whole world's going to become that to various degree, but the thing is, in other countries, their governments, especially especially the ones who's in charge or like figurehead, they have way more control over the people than America does. especially because of the fact that America has guns. You know what I'm saying? So, and of course, things like freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, blah, 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 blah. But mainly it's the guns. So, at the end of the day, America's going to run into a big issue from within because once that money gets taken out the way, now people have to find different ways to establish quote unquote culture. And then they're going to run to their personal beliefs. And we already know that old saying, fight for what you believe in, right? Well, this was literally going to happen. People are going to be fighting over their religions. They're going to be fighting over, I don't know, sexual orientations, these pseudo races, whatever, fake races. They're going to be fighting over that. I'm trying to think what else would they fight over. I don't know. They already fighting. Niggas already fighting over their block. So yeah, that's gonna happen.
And camps fighting over their block too.
You don't have. But I like how you mentioned the point about America is, you know, when the money goes out the way, it's going to cause a lot of issues within. You got to think about it. Money can also be a distraction oftentimes for a lot of the things and the issues that people deal with in their everyday lives. It can also be a distraction from what you know, what you feel internally about a particular person, a group, or organization. All that can be masked with money, right? So when you take the money out the way, then people's true intentions get not only revealed but are shown on the surface in an excess way. Because in order for you to get the things you need to, the things you need to get and the resources that you need to get to protect and provide for yourself, you're gonna take it from the person that you deem least desirable. And what's that gonna cause? That's gonna cause civil war right there.
Hey, you just said it right there. You brought up that's the spirit, bro. Because that's where I was going. You said people's true intentions are gonna be brung out. Well, we already know what brings people together. Lies, more time than not. Lies. Yes, the truth separates people, right? Facts. What is the biggest lie in America? Our fiat currency. That's the biggest lie in America. So that's the biggest unifier. Anybody can come together under that fiat currency. We all go to the store, and grocery stores, department stores, retail stores, malls, whatever, wherever you go. There are a bunch of different people, different ideologies, different religions, different sexual orientations, blah, 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 blah. They're all in the same stores all at the same time. How? Why are they all in there at the same time, getting along for the most part, when you go down the aisle and another car's coming the other way.
Monetary transaction, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. You saying excuse me, you go pick out some chips off the shelf and they just try to be in the way and they say excuse me, or you say excuse me, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's nice in the store. Why? Everybody's getting along. Why? Because everybody's here to do the same thing. They're here to use their fiat money to buy, not necessarily trade or sell, but you get the point. They're here to buy goods. They're here to exchange in commerce. Fiat commerce, but they're here to exchange in commerce. Well, once again, once you take that out the way, it's gonna be straight chaos. It's gonna be what happened in 2020 on a million. Everybody bought a goddamn toilet paper and shit. Like, everybody went to the stores and bought everything. It was long lines everywhere. The same thing's gonna happen this time, but it's gonna be on a whole nother level because the money's gone. So it's gonna be something that's gonna happen either right before or right after that announcement gets made, where people are just gonna run into every single store known to man and try to buy up all the resources before it goes bad, before the money goes bad, or however you want to look at it. And it's going to create major fighting off of that alone.